Hey guys, welcome to a new sort of video format that I'm going to be trying out today. Basically, in this video, I'm going to be going over all of the new sort of hardware leaks or announcements this week, and just talking about them quickly, not in depth on specs or performance or anything like that. But we're just going to sort of quickly go over them. So the first thing I'm going to talk about, you may have already seen it, is the new RTX 2080 Ti Aorus Extreme, which looks pretty awesome. It has some RGB rings on it, and it has sort of like a black and metal design. It has three stacked fans with sort of like an interweaving design so that it doesn't create turbulent airflow. It also has 7 video outputs, 3 HDMI, 3 DisplayPort, and 1 USB-C. You can't use them all at once, but it's still better than not having a choice. And it has a custom PCB, unlike a lot of that cards actually. But anyways, yeah, so on to the next. The last actual video card that we're going to be looking at is the MSI RTX 2070 Gaming X. Not Trio, just normal Gaming X. It has 2 fans, has some RGB lights. I think they finally deviated from the sort of red. It kind of feels more like a rendition of the Gaming X Trio, which for the only Gaming X Trios have not been red, and they have a similar sort of design. I don't think that MSI is going to be implementing this on their 2080 and 2080 Ti. And this card has no SLI and no NVLink connectors at all, and it's a dual slot card, but that's about all we know about this card. To go along with the new 2080 and 2080 Ti cards, we have some new SLI bridges from ASUS, Gigabyte, and Evga. So the ASUS one seems to have a little bit of an infinity mirror design, has some RGB on the front, and has the 3 or 4 slot spacing, which is the same for all of them. The Aorus one has sort of more of a metallic look and also has RGB, I think probably on the logo, although we don't really know yet. And then there is also the Evga one, which has RGB lit logo and some RGB on the sides. It's very C-shaped and very polarizing. You either like it or you hate it. But anyways, those are going to cost around $80, and that's about it. So ASRock has also just announced, like officially announced, there have been leaks before, their new motherboards. Their new motherboards will have a lot of normal features, then they look pretty much the same as the X470, H370 motherboards that we've seen, and they actually have some 2.5G LAN, which is a very nice middle ground from basically all motherboards having 1 gig and like the highest end motherboards having 10 gig. So we've actually seen 3 more motherboards from Evga. We've got their B360 Micro, which is just pretty standard, just like their other micro ATX boards. It has some yellow capacitors, which I haven't seen before, over there in the corner. And we've also got the Z390 for the win, which looks exactly the same as the Z370 for the win, except it has those yellow capacitors. Not really much that I can tell difference, and I don't know if there's I don't know if there's much different feature-wise. Feels the same way with a lot of other Z390 motherboards, but they've also teased the Z390 Dark. Oh, cool! It actually has a really interesting layout. I think it's better for overclocking. So usually you see the L shape with the VRMs on the motherboards. Usually it has one on the top of the CPU socket and one on the side or close to the I/O of the socket. Basically, that's been flipped around on this board so that there's one on the side close to the I/O, normal, but there's also one under the CPU socket. And on top of the CPU socket is the RAM, which there's 2 DIMM slots. I mean, it's not an overclocking board, it's not a mainstream board. And then you have your ATX and EPS power connectors in the same spot. Well, the ATX is in the same spot as normal, and the EPS are right next to that, and they go directly towards the VRMs without having to go around the RAM slots. And I think it's going to be absolutely amazing for overclocking. It looks really cool, and it's just so insane. Like, And also for EVGA, we have some new SFX, I think, or just, yeah, SFX, I'm pretty sure. Supernova power supplies, and these are gold rated modular power supplies. They just are all gray metal. Nothing really too interesting about the design. Just, I think they have 450, 550, and 650 watt versions. We also have some power supplies from Silverstone. We're starting off with another SFX power supply, which still has some blue connectors on the back. Don't like that. It's just 550 watts and modular, all that stuff that you normally expect. And they also have a new fanless power supply. This fanless power supply is white, so it's kind of like a mix between the Seasonics fanless and their snow silent power supplies, which, I don't know, I think it looks pretty good. It's 600 watts, so should be enough power for most systems. We've also got a few other things. We have a new Thermaltake water block for TR4, and it's RGB. It's basically the same as a circle one, but it's square. It looks so much better like this. It's really easy to get apart because it uses just Phillips head screws at the bottom, and it only works with TR4. And yeah, so it just syncs with the rest of your system. They also released a new radiator with an RGB strip on the side, as you can see there. And then finally, we have a cooler from Guild, I think, and it has 6 heat pipes, if I do recall correctly, and a big RGB fan. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. You made it all the way to the end. Thank you so much. I would really appreciate it if you subscribed and go watch my other videos, and goodbye.